Ladies and gentlemen, we officially have our best DC movie of 2023, and Latinos, tell everybody we're up. So if you couldn't tell, I just got back from watching Blue Beetle. I'm going to be giving you my quick, honest, spoiler-free thoughts of the film. Before we get into that, there is currently a writers and actors strike going on, and without our writers and actors being paid and treated fairly for their work, movies like Blue Beetle wouldn't exist. Click the links in my bio to learn more. But back to Blue Beetle, man, they were cooking. Right off the bat, I enjoyed this way more than I enjoyed The Flash. Depending on how you look at it, this is our latest installment in the DCEU or the first installment in the new DC universe for James Gunn. I mean, it's actually kind of crazy how it could fit in either universe. And either way, it is a worthy installment. Now, this movie was already fighting a couple of uphill battles. One, Blue Beetle is like a D or C list character. And with that, Warner Brothers initially was going to have this be a straight to HBO Max streaming film. But they were so impressed with what they had, they decided to release it in theaters. And man, am I happy that they did. To give you a general sense of what the plot is, this is your typical superhero origin story. It follows Jaime Reyes, who just recently graduated college and is like trying to find himself in life. His family is his anchor, which is when he finds an opportunity for a new job at Cord Industries, gets introduced to the Scarab, and that's essentially where our film takes flight, literally. And this movie definitely reminds me of like a bunch of different films. One from my childhood is definitely Star Kid. There's a little bit of Tuxedo in there, a little bit of Venom, a little bit of Spider-Man Homecoming. It's got that whole vibe of it of like, I'm in this body, I'm in this suit, but I can't control it all, with the Scarab itself actually being voiced by Becky G. I just wish it had a little bit more personality. The Venom symbiote, it is not. She's like an aggressive Karen. Hey, yo. And overall, this movie really feels like one of those classic MCU Phase 1 stories. As a matter of fact, it feels like if Miss Marvel was placed in Phase 1. Xolo Maridueña was perfectly cast as Jaime Reyes. I mean, they did kind of just like pluck him straight from Cobra Kai, but he's just so damn charismatic you can't help but love him. Because this movie does such a great job in building out Jaime's family dynamic. And as a Latino, I could not believe what I was watching on screen, like the representation of each family member. It legit felt like I was watching my family on screen. Every Latino has that grandma. Every Latino has that mom and dad. Every Latino has that annoying sibling we can't help but love. And every Latino has an Uncle Rudy played by George Lopez. And to me, that's where this movie shines. Like, there's a lot of emotional moments in this movie that actually got like a tear out of me. I couldn't believe it. And the family isn't just like shoehorned in there. Everyone in the family plays an integral role in the story, and they each get a moment to shine. The standouts definitely being George Lopez's Uncle Rudy, but Adriana Barraza as Jaime's abuela, bro, she was cooking something serious in this movie. Now, with this good, there is some bad, and I honestly think these villains are very generic. Like, Susan Sarandon just plays your typical corporate villain who just hates everybody and everything and is annoyed with everything. Like, she wasn't that interesting to me. And although they do introduce some interesting concepts with Conrad Carapax, it comes way too late in the film. Hey, yo! For me to really give it a positive, but his suit is cold. Bruna Marquezine, I think, brings so much charisma and soul to her role as Jenny Cord, even though the character itself isn't written that great. Bruna was good. And Harvey Guillen also falls into that meh type category. And while the story is very predictable, there's just a lot of fun, and I hate using the term fun because for some reason that's seen as a negative nowadays, but this movie seriously was just so damn entertaining. Albeit, this movie does follow the very formulaic origin story in the 3-act structure. The first act is really just about setting up all the characters, so it kind of drags. But once we get to the second act and introducing the Scarab, that's where the pace really kicks up. And it does kind of fall into the whole CGI third act thing, but I think enough sticks the landing for me to love it as much as I did. Like, you're going to be able to predict a lot of what's going to happen in the movie. It's like, how many times can you keep having the same steak, the same cheeseburger before it gets boring? You get a different chef. And director Angel Manuel Soto was cooking. The fight scenes and the action sequences are so damn entertaining, and they're clearly inspired by anime. I love the way that they blended the practical use with the CGI use. I love that. That's what I loved about the OG Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, was the way you were able to blend CGI and practical. I think they do a good enough job here. The third act is very CGI heavy though. And not to mention the score and the soundtrack is heat. Oh yeah, by the way, there are 2 post-credit scenes, and if you're a Latino, you're going to really love the second one. Overall, if you're a huge DC fan and a huge fan of Blue Beetle, I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy this movie. And if you're a Latino, Latina, you're going to feel properly represented up on that big screen. You know, typically Latinos are portrayed as gangbangers, cholos, or doing a bunch of bad shit in movies. But to see us actually get a Latino superhero on the screen, I never thought I'd see it. All in all, I gave Blue Beetle 4 stars, 4 scarabs. I just want to rock. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and as always, like and follow for more.